Well, good afternoon. So here we are again. My name is Camille Kitchener Ellis, and I am an early childhood educator, and I want to share some information with new pre-K teachers about the importance of how you show up in your class. So I know that it's very important to show up a certain way, right? Because as soon as you walk into the building, as soon as you walk into your classroom, the students are looking at you if they're already there. All eyes are basically on you. And so how you show up and how you present yourself to your class as well as to everyone else that you have to work with is extremely important. So going in as a new pre-K teacher, there's a certain way that you want to show up authentically. Basically, you don't want to show up, as if you know something that you don't, and you don't want to show up as if you're trying to be someone else, or you don't want to show up as timid. You want to show up confident and knowing that you know what to do. Um, and if you don't know what to do, that's okay too, because that's a part of being a lifetime learner. That's a part of like learning and being in a community of educators where you can, hopefully you have a team of people that you'll be able to like go to for support. If not, that's fine too. So in this video, I wanted to talk about 3 things that it's very important for you to know about yourself before you go into your classroom, or the next time you go into your classroom. If you didn't know before you started, you need to figure this out before you go in. And so the first thing that you need to know is what your behavior is. What are your behaviors when you are triggered? What do you do? Or but even before you think about what you do when you're triggered, you need to know what triggers you. What gets under your skin? What is it about a child's behavior or about people in general that just bothers you? You need to know what this is, because sometimes children will push your button. Young children, they will do things and you will find yourself getting upset. You'll find yourself getting to a place where you're not in control anymore. And when you're in an early childhood classroom around 3 and 4 and 5-year-old kids, it's very important that you have a handle on your own emotions and your own behaviors, right? So it's very important for you to know, well, what triggers you? Is it when someone doesn't listen? Is it when you don't feel heard? Is it when you tell someone to do something and they're not listening, they're defiant? Is it when a child talks back to you and they're being disrespectful, or they're not showing you the respect that you feel like you need? As their teacher, you need to know before you go into your classroom what triggers you, okay? And the next thing that you need to know is, what do you do in these situations when you get triggered? Okay? What begins to happen to your body? How do you know as a teacher that you're getting triggered, or that you're going in a direction that you don't really want to go in? Because the fact of the matter is that we're all human beings and we all do get upset. There are things that get us upset, and it's just a part of life, because we are human. So it's important for you to have that self-awareness of yourself as a new teacher. Even if you're not a new teacher, it's important for you to know what triggers you and how your body begins to feel when you're getting triggered, so that you can do something before you get to that stage, right? Now, knowing what triggers you, knowing how your body responds and how you begin to respond when you're feeling triggered, or when you're feeling challenged, or when you're feeling as if you're trapped, or you're feeling like you don't know what to do, you're overwhelmed, you don't know. This is what I mean when I say triggered. Like you're getting to a point where you feel like you're about to lose control, or you feel like you're just at your wit's end. You have no idea how to handle what is happening. So you have to know what those things are, like what things get you to that point, and what begins to happen in your mind and in your body that's telling you you're about to, this is not good. This fitting to be a mess right here. Okay, so you have to know, how do you respond under pressure, whether it's pressure from a student that's not listening or that is showing out behaviors that you don't know how to handle. um, when you have a lot on your mind, because sometimes we may come into school and you got a lot going on at home. Like I said, we're human, and it's okay, right? So how do you respond? Like, what do you do when you have a lot on your mind? Like, you just had an argument with your husband or your partner or your kid, and you're upset about it. Okay, so now how do you bring yourself from that point to now where you can show up authentically and in a you know, in a non-intrusive way to your students, right? So this is very important for you as a teacher to know. It's important for you to know. So when you're facing difficulty with staff, now let's say the stress point or the trigger point is with your principal or with other people on your team. How do you deal with that, right? It's not easy to function in a stressful and in a negative environment as a teacher. And then the fact that you have to show up as yourself and you have to show up, for the students that are looking to you, you don't want to bring that heaviness and that down spirit into your classroom. So it's very important for you to have things or ways of how you deal with those stresses that you encounter before you even get into your classroom. Okay. Um, Sometimes the source of the problem might be a parent, right? It could be one of the kids' parents where that's causing you to feel a certain way. How do you handle that, right? So number one, what triggers you? Number two, how do you know like that you're getting triggered? And number three, how are you going to handle it? Like, what are some steps that you are taking to preserve yourself? Because as a teacher, it's important for you to know what you need to do in order to protect yourself as well as the students, right? So how are you taking care of yourself? And I know in early childhood, social emotional development is extremely important, and it's something that we work to help develop in the students. But also, we also as teachers need to work to develop that in ourselves as well. So if you feel yourself, a student just threw a block across the classroom and hit another kid upside the head, and you've spoken to that child more than, you've told them like, this is not how we behave in class, or you let them know, you told them what the expectation was, and they're not complying, or they're not like listening to you, or you feel like you're getting to a point of stress. What do you do in that moment? Because that's you're at a trigger point now where you can lash out and react, or you can pause and say, you know what, I feel my heart rate speeding up. I feel myself getting hot. Like, I feel my body getting hot. I feel my heart rate picking up. What am I going to do? And there you have the opportunity to pause and take a deep breath, close your eyes, or do something, whatever your strategies are, to help yourself come back to yourself and come back to, in control. That is what you do. Some people count backwards from 10. Some people close their eyes and take a deep breath. Some people, need to take a walk and say, you know what, most times we have an assistant in the classroom, and we can say, I'm going to run to the bathroom, I'll be right back. And you go to that bathroom and you take a deep breath, you drink some water, you do what you have to do to come back to yourself. Because the truth of the matter is this: your students are not doing whatever it is that they're doing just to get on your nerves. Like, they did not wake up that morning saying, today I'm gonna get on Miss Camille's nerves. Today I'm gonna not listen to her. Today I'm gonna be defiant and I'm gonna throw a block and hit a friend in the face. That is not what they woke up thinking about this morning. The truth of the matter is that many times children are going through things that we have no idea about, and it has nothing to do with us, right? They may be going through changes in their body. Maybe something happened at home that we have no idea about, and they're reacting and reacting or acting out because of what happened. Maybe their brother punched them in the belly, before they came in. Maybe they got beat up by an older sibling. Maybe they didn't eat breakfast. Maybe they need a nap. Like, there's so many different reasons why a child behaves the way they behave. And so as a new teacher, it's very important to, first off, do not take it personal. It is not about you. Those kids are not thinking about you. They are dealing with whatever it is that they are dealing with, and they're going through whatever it is that they are going through. And so you, as the teacher, you have to show up whole. Like, you can't be fragmented. Like, you have to be there to help them get through whatever it is, and to be able to manage whatever it is the child is dealing with, even though you don't know. It may take a conversation where you just pause and you get down to their eye level and you say, what's happening? Like, what's going on? Like, they may need your empathy in that moment. Maybe no one showed them, maybe they just need a hug. Maybe no one showed them any empathy that day, or they feel like nobody cares, right? And so as a teacher, it's very important to make sure that you are solid and calm, and you are yourself. Like, you are together, you're not triggered, you're not like all over the place, because your children, your students need you to show up fully so that you are able to help them manage their feelings and their emotions and whatever they are going through. So I hope you found that helpful. So the three things were: you have to know what triggers you, how you know that, like what you do when you're triggered, and how you're going to respond to it. How do you respond to things that trigger you? And if you don't know, then you need to sit down and think of a plan of okay, I know that when a child talks back to me, this is how I feel. Why do I feel that way? You gotta kind of, you know, investigate yourself a little bit so that you know, okay, why do I feel that way? Why, if a child talks back to me, or if a child does this or whatever, why do I feel that way? And is that really true? Or is that what that really means? So it's very important to be able to work through these things. I hope you guys found this helpful again. And leave a comment below. Like and subscribe if you found this information helpful. Please do share it with someone that you think will benefit from it. And I'll talk to you guys next time.